Kartik, is Savi going to be joining us today?
I haven't heard from him. Can you see my screen, Sean?
Yes, sir. I can see it.
Okay, awesome. So, sorry it took some time to customize few of these fields and stuff. I think right now we have like somewhat like customized views. So most important, like there are several sections. We can discuss about these sections like if you want, but the most important section for us is seeing the new versus returning user. So this is where like we'll link back and say like when there is an email blast going on or like whatever like event happens for the school. So we want to see here like on the specific day, on the specific week, how many new visitors are coming to that specific school. You can here see like who are the new visitors for this a month. So I just adjust to the last week.
Okay.
Probably 21st to 29. Apply. We just the new visitors at that span, like just 1 week span.
So that's the new unique visitors to MGC?
Yes, new unique visitors to the MGC. They're like overall MGC, all schools.
Uh-huh.
I can print. I can export this report if I want. And here are some advanced. We don't need these advanced metrics, so I'm not going to worry about that. Like, because we are not looking at any page type analysis, so I'm not going to look at this too. So it's just this table, and it is just for the count, overview count. But if you want to tie these new users to the sources they are coming from, I go back to traffic, all traffic, and I see channel. So from which channels they are coming from. So is this referral or direct or search results? It's highly unlikely they'll come from search results for now, but that's why you see only one. And right now we have referral or direct. Referral like from which website, source website, or if I want to see direct, it's like coming from either direct links, like if they're sending links out in an email or even like email, and what is other source?
Okay, so the direct would be like something that the school sent out directly with the link inserted in it.
Yeah.
And a referral would be what?
Referral would be where like the website or some other kind of social media.
Okay,
like,
so maybe I see what you're saying. So it could be the website itself or social media, so like Central Coast with social media. And what about like student referrals? What about if a student forwarded it on Pratik? Would that also be part of the referral?
So when a student shares it on an email, no, if it is direct, like direct link clicking, it is captured here in direct, even if it is
indirect.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to see like another sources, again, like these are all counted as referrals. So centralcoast.edu, summit.edu. I don't even know what this site is. Maybe a spam site.
Mm-hmm.
Is our local machine. So and this is not set up yet, but what I'm seeing here, like this is not set up yet. I haven't done this, but I'm thinking like if this will enable us with the Facebook thing. Like you are asking if student shares it on Facebook or Twitter. I'm guessing like we'll get that data here, but I didn't get a chance to actually customize the social thing.
Okay, so and the social would be, can you explain the social part to me again, Pratik?
I'm thinking like if it is, I haven't played with it, but I'm thinking it is a network referral. So if I share it on my Facebook wall and somebody clicked on that,
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't figured out how to set this up, so I'm still, I didn't do that.
Okay. So the things that we should be looking at right off the bat are the channels, right, where it comes in from, or all traffic?
Yeah, all traffic and channels in this.
Okay.
Yeah, channels is the overview, and if you want to specifically see like what referral sources, you can go to referral sources, and for each referral source you can see how many sessions. So for example, here summit.edu has like 56 sessions. So you see like which page they are landing into. Is this a new session? Like did they complete like, and you can also see acquisition. You can see their path they're traveling. So, yeah, this is flow. You can also see like, okay, they're coming from here, and then which page they're clicking on, and what is the first interaction, which page they are going into.
Okay.
Till the end. So if you want to track this, we can add our own steps and keep tracking like from where they are proceeding and where they are exiting MGC.
Okay.
So probably after, and we can customize this to only for student and say we can see the exit point. Maybe probably after my goals of that and exiting, so we can see that.
So this is showing us where they're going once they come in, what the next page that they are usually touching.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you see this summit student, so through traffic, they're coming like opening the link and 32 people, like 27.8%, they just close the link after they saw the link. The red ones.
Okay.
Here is the drop off, and then they tap on registration thing, and there is a drop off. So
it's showing me from those the 115 that move on. Then it shows me how many of those drop off and how many of them continue. Okay.
So I have a couple questions here, Pratik. First of all, when we look at this data and put it into our own grid, we have to be very cognizant of this data includes your team.
Yes.
Because there's of those folks who are going in here, I'm assuming the ones from India are not prospective students.
Yeah. So I'll show that to you. The campus, like our folks are using one campus chain, that is a test campus.
Uh-huh.
Go User Explorer. This is put it from 1 month. I know exactly which. This is our user 51. So 51 session. So I'll go back and find out which one it is. Again. Sure. Someone else.
Hey, Gene.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When on the sites that I manage, I use Google Analytics fairly frequently. One of the things that we have to do is we filter out a lot of the hits that show up there. Like, for example, Google's bots and that sort of thing. We sift all that stuff out. So I think we can probably filter out sources like India, for example. We could eliminate
Iraq, United Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually wrote that down, that we need to filter.
I'm trying to get that one active users. We don't need that. There's one tab I know where we get that report and filter out stuff.
I didn't catch that, Pratik.
No, there's one source where we can download and filter that out. I'm just finding that for source.
There's got to be a different way.
There's a couple of internal things we have to consider here too. So beyond the definition of referrals is different, how schools use it versus what it is here. I'm also seeing, it uses the term drop-off, and yet if somebody raises their hand, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That means they're out of MGC because they raised their hand to connect to the school. So we have to select what pieces of this we're going to export or share with the client that make sense.
Right, and this is the eternal problem with Google Analytics, and that, for example, the trend, again, to use some of my own stuff here, the trend is a lot on some clients is to use what's typically like a one-page website where you just scroll on because of mobile. The problem with that is you can land on that site, you can see all kinds of different information on the one page, and then you leave and it shows a bounce because you only went to the one page.
Right. Yeah.
I found. So we have these two things. What our team is looking at, they are not coming from any referral things. They are only coming from direct sources. One, because they know the links already. And the second thing is like most of the time, like these two things, they're not looking at schools which are live, like Summit, things like that. They are not looking at that. They have their own custom campus which they're using for testing. And which is
So the other thing we have to think about is how this changes when we connect up with a school CRM or SIS. If at all. I mean, what I'm talking about is our reporting. So I don't know if it'll have any impact if we're pushing and pulling information back and forth.
it shouldn't, but because it shouldn't. Whatever we are pulling and pushing is from the database, and is completely different.
Okay. So at least it would help me, Pratik. Can you just walk me through one school like Summit,
okay,
and just show me what we can see with that particular school.
Okay. I take this example of Summit. Okay. Summit College EDU, we have 84, so I tap on here.
Wait, I have to go into the channel first versus the client?
Yep.
So, okay, so I have to pull up channels, and then how do I know which of these apply to which client?
Right.
Yeah, I tap on referral first, and then we have summit.edu and summit.
Yeah, those are easy, but what about the other ones?
Right.
If I see California News.cf.
That could be Summit or Central Coast. I don't know.
Then we have to here. Then we have to do manual stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How do we know?
And Shannon, what state is Gene Juarez in?
Gene Juarez is in Washington. It's in Seattle. So, and I'm just guessing that the Fashion Indeed or even the Eyes on You might be Gene Juarez related. But I'm just, is there any way that we can see what that is?
I don't want to have to guess, though.
No, I know that's the thing.
As we get more and more in here, that it'll be impossible.
Right, because if they're doing like newsletter blasts, and that's why I'm saying that I think that might be a Gene Juarez, because I know that they included the link in one of their newsletters.
Well, one thing for sure, that if we can make sure that the link is set up with the right tag inside the link, then it could, we would know for sure what unique source that came from.
Mm-hmm. So we would need to prescribe to the school, hey, if you're going to do this e-blast, or if you're going to do this text blast, or if you're going to do this on social media, use this particular link.
Right. Yeah, I understand like what you said, Ben, but the problem is we have a program, a Dynamics program, and we have one link altogether. So we only have one code base, and every college will have, from the database, we get a number for every college.
Right.
So,
if we put an analytics tag, I misspoke a little bit. It's not actually in the URL. It's in, it would be an analytics code we'd ask them to place in within the box or however
It's
you
a
want.
school identifier.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Pratik is right. It's one URL.
So that.
I mean, of course, Pratik is right.
Right. It's just, you know, our end game is to provide clients with meaningful reports each week, and the easier way to do that, the better.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now I'm just, you know, what can we get out of here? What can we pull out of here for Gene Juarez, Central Coast, and Summit right now? What is this telling us? And then, of course, aggregate for
Yeah,
other purposes.
I hear your point, Gija. That is a thing like, you know, we can't find out like what referral that is. And just thinking if there is a way we can tie the source to the college URL.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this Facebook, you know, this number 9 on the screen, this Facebook. If that's the result of Central Coast putting a link on their social media that they got 2 people in here, that's something I could scream about and go, hey, you guys, look at, you know, you've got these new leads, you know, that from social media.
Right.
And that's where we're sort of handcuffed right now, is we can't make claims.
Into location.
California is just such a big place.
If I get like just the college ID here, I think we have. Okay. I'll figure it out. You know, I'll see if I haven't seen that kind of, you know, lower level details, but I'll try. Because we have everything except one unique link.
So is what I'm hearing that there's, you know, that there's something that we can do with our clients in terms of giving them something unique for their campaigns that would help on the Google Analytics side? Is that correct?
That is giving, like, you know, when they are sharing in email, we'll ask them to have, you know, okay, I'll show it. After the college ID, it says percentage email blast on day or something like that. So when they tap on, when users click on that link, we know like it went out from that exact email blast. And
so that's where it goes back to knowing what campaigns they're running and when,
Right.
And that's a critical first piece. And then secondly, you could guide us in terms of the how they can code that or what the URL or whatever could be so that we can track it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's similar to what they do in marketing campaigns to measure, was it from TV, radio, newspaper, whatever.
Right. Honestly, I think that the clients will love it. If we can track back to what they're doing and where they're successful, they're going to really appreciate that information.
What I'm worried about is as this grows, I mean, managing their multiple campaigns.
Yeah.
How does this look a year from now when we've got 20 clients who are each running 20 campaigns over the course of a year?
More.
Right? Yeah.
More.
Yeah. 100 clients running 100 campaigns.
But it's like we
Hey,
can't.
you wait. I haven't gotten going yet, but we're going.
even if you have 5 clients. Okay, this whole Google Analytics thing is a temporary solution which we, I am against Google Analytics, but just we push it so at least we have some kind of data and have the validity. But my idea is to build our own analytics engine, because I'm not saying like all this where they are coming from and all that kind of stuff, like, but at least tying back to the important questions you have, like where, which link they are clicking, from which campaign, and where they are landing. 4 or 5 key performance indicators. So we have to build that thing anyway. So this is a temporary thing, and I'm just trying to figure out like what temporary fixes we can do, so we get meaningful data, and you can go to the clients and brag about the data.
So Pratik, what would be helpful is if you can come back and let us know of all this data that's out that Google Analytics offers, what are the pieces that we should pay attention to, and how do we include those in the reports? Because we have other data points that we are giving back to clients. So what makes sense out of here? And I get that it's a temporary solution, but perhaps you can give us some insight on when the other solution is coming.
So what we get from here is like referrals versus like direct users, new versus like returning users, but what we are not getting is like when it says referral, where what is that referral about? Like, for example, if I just saw college newsletter for .sf for California newsletter, we didn't know whether it is Summit or Central Coast. So we are not getting that level of granularity. We are getting like, okay, 60 people are from referral and 100 people are from direct sources. And if we have direct sources, we can see who that is and where they are coming from and which link that is, because they have to tap on a link and we are recording that link. But from referral sources, we are not getting any insights. So my immediate next step is to see, like, from referral sources, is there any way we can get which school that is and what, any more information on that. So that is my immediate next step. And second thing is for at least for now, to tweak our URLs. So when they are doing email blasts or when they are doing some kind of outreach, is there any way we can provide some links and track the data to report? So these are 2 things on which I'm going to address immediately and give input back. But in terms of what we are getting now, I see like there are a lot of missing data points that is not really useful for you.
Yeah, I can just see how you can get like sucked into this and it's not really meaningful.
Yeah.
So Ben, you've got experience working with clients on this. What would be some of your recommendations on next steps here?
Well, the difficulty that Pratik is having, or because of the nature of the site, you've essentially, when you think about it, each client, from a client's perspective, is a different website. But from the technical point of view, from Pratik's team point of view, it's only one site. It's an application running on a URL of sorts. I would think, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, but since each school has a unique school identifier, it seems that we should be able to see how the inbound traffic is being distributed out that way. Am I wrong?
You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, then stripping it, or excuse me, segmenting it, segregating it by client should be very straightforward at that point. Correct, Pratik?
Yep.
Okay, good. So now it just becomes a question of how do you see where they're coming from. So what Pratik was showing you was by channels, and to the extent that's geographic. You can see where they're coming from in the geography, but you can add a Google Analytics tag or code to any page, like to an email, for example, or to another website or something like that, that shows that they entered the door through a click on a link at the school's website or through an email response. That's what. Anything else is anybody else who's just coming direct is going to show up as direct. And theoretically, I don't see how anybody can land direct without having previous experience there. There's just no way they're going to stumble into it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to really stumble into it through Google search either, because those domains that we're talking about with the school identifier, those aren't like a real domain. Those are sort of manufactured on the fly in a virtual way when the database sort of brings up that site, presents that when they put that in. But it's not like it's a fixed page that they can go to, I don't think. I could be wrong. So all that means is that I don't think Google Analytics, I don't think Google search bots are going to pick up the individual pages of sites in here at all. So to answer your question, we can segment the client data, we know that, and we can get some behavior out of it by looking at how what page people are landing on. Typically, a person is going to land on the login screen, and then they'll be at the dashboard at that point. And so we're able to look at each tab from there, Pratik?
That has to be done manually again.
Okay.
And that's where I was going, is if we can see from this data, where people came in from and what the lead sources were primarily, and then we go into MGC, is there a way to track that specific person in both systems? So for a perfect example is somebody in Google Analytics is showing that they abandoned or that they ended, and yet in MGC we can see that they raised their hand. But is there a way to correlate that it's one person's journey, or are we just guessing?
Yeah, fun. Now I think we can do, because we have few users, and we see that when we see their time they entered in and their path, we can match it back to the database for that specific school. But even if we have like a few hundreds of users, that becomes really difficult.
So Pratik, once a person is signed into the system, logged into the system, are we able to track their journey at that point? Are we able to track how long they've been in a certain section? All that kind of stuff. How many times they've logged in? All of that.
Yeah, we can, but the problem is again the same thing. We have one application, so the landing pages are different for people, and once you log in, it says like the URL is not unique to everyone. That the background algorithm is unique to every school, but if we say the URL, it always says dashboard.
So what Pratik is saying is I just realized what he was saying. What he's saying is that The login page for each school is a unique URL. But once they've logged in, they're actually all in the same space at that point. And so what a user sees is based on his login rights or her login rights. And so a person whose user account is associated with Gene Juarez only sees content based on that association with Gene Juarez, but they're still in the same application that somebody from Summit would be in. Did I get that right, Pratik?
So if I'm showing this URL, so this 532279 is our Not Notice live demo. But if I go to 37722 is the or this is Summit El Cajon campus. So they're unique. When a student taps on this one, we definitely know which URL they are coming into. But after I log in, it says just dashboard, admission rep dashboard. It doesn't say admission rep dashboard of Not Notice University or something like that. Then that becomes problematic for us to track like which school they are, except for like where we know like where they came from, and we don't know which school they are. Like if our system becomes big and we have like 50 schools, it becomes almost impossible to track the data.
Okay, so just to move this conversation forward, there's obviously Google Analytics, there's some data in there that could be meaningful for us to use in the interim until the custom solution is built, right? Okay, and my question is, I'm just trying to figure out, because as we promise things to clients, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. We're gonna need to work with this to figure out what's meaningful and what we could use for now. But when do you envision a custom solution that? When do you envision that coming, and what will that tell us? What kind of data are we going to be able to pull in the future?
I think that is something we have to define. Like I said, these are the important data fields we want. And then we can build a system based on those data points. And if you are building a custom thing, we can do almost anything. If you want me to track down and say, hey, I want to see like when they are logging out exactly after how many seconds, we can do that. Or if you want, if you ask me like, which user clicked on the Facebook thing, or which user, how many users log in after clicking on the Facebook link, we can track that. So it's very diverse, and we can track anything if we build our own custom thing.
Okay. So I know you had done some work already, moving down that path. So what I'm hearing is that we need to define what data we want to capture ultimately, and then from there, you can give us a date, perhaps, on when that will be coming.
And to just clarify more, like the work we have done is cleaning up all the school information. For example, now it doesn't like if we are creating new schools now, it has a tag which says college name instead of this random IDs. It says Summit instead of 57725 or something like that. And in the database, we made some modifications to see to capture the referral part, like okay, from where they are coming in. So we have some tags like email, social media, tags like that, so we can track those things. So that is the work we already have done, and the work to be done is like implementing everything on the front end and generating unique URLs for every campaign they are running, and building a program that manages all its stuff, which is not manual. So yeah. And now if we define like what are the metrics you want to do, then I can, as I said, then I can give you like, okay, we need like 10 days for this or something like that.
Okay, so I'm not sure I got all that, but I'm just trying to figure out what we can get now versus later.
What we can get now from Google Analytics is how many people, what different sources they're coming from.
So how many people and by what source?
Yeah, by what source in that specific time range, and then we can get some demographics like which location, but the problem is there is no real tying back to the school source. So that's the problem.
Because I mean we're about to, you know, we're bringing in other schools, and STAR is going to be a huge one.
Right.
And I'm just wondering what we should be doing, because I mean everybody's all about the data. I can't. I've been screaming data for 6 months or longer. You know, if they're going to stay with it, they want to know what's working, how's it working, how can we prove the value. So, you know, I was hopeful that Google Analytics would give us some information to prove ROI. That's what I need right now. So what's in here that can help us do that is what I'm trying to understand.
Except for the third-party referrals, I think we get like other things like, you know, when you say referral that are unique, or if we can get a source from the schools, like if STAR is doing a referral program, so they say, hey, I'm doing on CaliforniaNews.cf, I'm putting my link from this period to this period. Can you track the data for me? You know, again, we have to go back to the schools and ask for them, or if they are doing an email campaign, hey, I'm doing an email campaign on this day. So we can keep track of the data, at least for now.
And again, so you would provide us with a particular link, or we're going to track it based on a bump in activity based on dates of what they did?
Yeah, based on dates what they did.
So we're not going to have a unique URL.
Not at this time.
Okay. So we're sort of guessing.
Yes, kind of third-party sources, yes. I'm sorry, but okay. Yes.
So for instance, if I know that Central Coast is sending, they're updating social media every Monday through the month of August using Facebook, that would be something that we could track. Although I don't think any of the others have started using social media, but it was something that they were considering.
Okay. I don't know this stuff, but I will go back to the team and see if they can generate a unique link right now. I doubt they can, but if there is any chance, like if it is a 1 day or 2 days work and they can generate that stuff, I'll get that done to keep the guessing game away from us. But to answer your question, Sharon, yes. Like if you know that they are doing that, we can see, we can manually see some trends and generate some reports there.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it. It's going to be a headache because schools that have multiple things going on, which is what we're pushing for, you're going to see a bump in activity, and then we need to attribute that activity. How do you know?
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
How do you know? How do you know if it was social media versus direct mail versus whatever?
We we know that from here, like if it is social, we'll have a huge bump in social media. And if it is direct, like referral, when an email blast is being sent, that is like direct source, and we have a bump here. The problem we are facing right now is like we don't know which school social media that is. So at least to keep
You don't know what school.
yeah, at least to keep this guessing thing out, I'll see if we can like quickly generate some unique URLs for them for different sources. So if it is even like 2 to 3 days work, I'll at least figure it out. But right now we don't have that.
So we have no idea who those Facebook people are, what school they're from.
Not now. Yeah.
And I'm just not sure how this helps us. I mean, it helps us overall with aggregate in terms of looking at activity, but I don't feel good about going back to school and saying, you know, everybody got 2 in Facebook because we don't know which one of you it actually applies to.
Mhm.
But we know it was somewhere in the vicinity of California. Another dumb question. So if Google Analytics, if we're saying that everybody's feeding into this because we have, it's just my guidance coach is what this is measuring, is there a way to create unique Google Analytics for each client so that we have, that they're not all just going to the one?
No, because we have like 3 different URLs. One is nn.myguidancecoach and custom.myguidancecoach and cap.myguidancecoach. So for each subdomain, we can create one code. That's why we are seeing like for all custom campuses a different source, and for all Enroll Math schools, there is only one source.
So for custom schools, is there one area, and for enrollment schools, is there another? Is that yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I guess the question is this useful? And if so, what pieces? Well said.
I I like the question. Yes. If you ask my honest opinion, it is not really useful in the way you wanted it to be.
Mhm.
But this is the max, like after whatever customizations I can do, this is the max I have extracted out of Google Analytics. Maybe there is a better Google Analytics person who knows how to even make it better, but like the max of my knowledge what I have used here.
The problem is, based on the conversations we've been having over the last month or few weeks, is we've now advertised out that we are able to capture this kind of information, and now we're saying we can't. So I'm going to go back to my original question, which is what will it take to get to the place where we have measurable, defensible data that measures ROI by client? That soon, huh?
Huh? Well,
Wait. I'm trying to figure out, what do we need to do to get to the place that we need to get to? Because it's honestly, from a sales standpoint, from a client onboarding retention point, this is the big problem, is we don't have data. What do you think, Pratik?
I hear you, Jane. I know the problem, and I don't have a solution on top of my head, but
All right. So is there
two immediate things I can do, Jane.
what's that?
There are two immediate things I can think of right now.
Okay.
One is go back and see, if there is any way we can have custom URLs and what are custom tags, and bring back to Google Analytics. So as a temporary solution. So that is one. And the second thing I can do is go back and see what it takes for them to actually finish, first school metrics, like how you want it, and an answer. So those are the two things that on top of my head right now.
All right. So within Google Analytics, if you could go back and find out how we can track it more school specific, is one route. I'd also add to that, if there's some data in here that is worthwhile. I'm thinking there's probably something in here that we could use, even if it's aggregate. But even then we have to filter out our own internal people who are in the system to pull meaningful data on aggregate. But the other piece of this is going to be, what do we need to capture, and when, what do we need to capture, and when is that going to be done by? Because that is really the trickiest part right now.
I'm wondering, as we look at this in aggregate, if it's a way that, if we can suggest what campaigns are working well. And I know that we don't know the specifics, but from my standpoint, working with the clients, especially as they onboard and they get started, here are some things that we're seeing. I don't know if that data is, if we can extract that or not, just thinking in aggregate terms.
From what I see, referral is if they are putting on their websites, or if they are putting on third-party websites, and directly if they are doing email campaigns, and both direct is both and if you mix direct with new users, I think that is email campaigns. Again, I'm a part of this in here. And social media is like, obviously, we only doing Facebook right now. So Facebook sharing and then people coming from Facebook. And if I tie this information back to new versus like new versus written, you see like how many new visitors are coming from. And again, like, no definite answer here, like, yeah, this might give some insights. Source. So, here the new users coming from Summit College New Start. New users who are coming directly, probably email campaigns, probably. And new users coming from summit.edu or centralcoast.edu. This is the only useful information from here, Shan.
So if somebody's coming from summitcollege.edu, that means that it's most likely their banner ad, right?
Right.
Because that's on their website.
Right.
So that's cool.
That's the only thing it could be. I mean, they have. That's saying they clicked a link somewhere there. You know.
And the newstart.com could also be from their website, but a different section. Or it could be an e-blast.
Right, but an e-blast wouldn't be coming. Wouldn't say summitcollege.edu.
No, I'm talking about above it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a landing page that they created.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So maybe, and this is internal controls, is maybe Vince's team did an e-blast for them, and because they obviously create the landing page.
Uh-huh.
And the URL MGC may have been an option in there. So that would be powerful for them to say, hey, 75 people came from that, went to MGC.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is what is meaningful in here.
Yeah, this is the only thing, like when we see new versus like we add it to the source, that is the most useful data here.
Okay. So Pratik, what do you suggest, knowing what our goal is, what do you suggest as next steps here?
One is the easy win to see, a better Google Analytics person than me, and see if they can suggest us some kind of strategy. One, and two, go back to the development team and actually see like where we ask them to stop in terms of custom metrics, and get an estimate on like what work is pending, what we are stopping, what we are sacrificing to get that done. So and get back to you on that one. So there are two things I see.
So I'm not sure I heard those clearly. Sorry.
Okay, so first is seeing if we can somehow make this Google Analytics data more meaningful. Like maybe if it is as simple as adding custom tags to every school or custom tags to email campaigns versus Facebook campaigns. I'll figure that out. So one, and two is I also want to talk to the development team on like where they are standing on the custom metrics before I ask them to stop. So go back on go review on that and see what inputs I can give you on that. So there are two things I see.
So to check their status on custom, you're talking about the custom reporting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second one, but first one is like to see if there's an easy win and no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So look, you're gonna look at what's here to see how we can make this more meaningful. And the second thing is check with your team on where they're at with the custom reporting functions.
Yeah.
Okay. Shannon, Beth, anything else you see as next steps on our end, knowing that our clients need to see data, like ideas here?
Well, I think that from my perspective, if I'll pull the campaigns that I know that the clients are currently using, and make sure that Pratik has those along with the dates that are associated with them. If that's right now how we can capture it. So if we know that Kathy's the only one that's using Facebook as an outlet, then maybe we can start collecting up information that way.
Okay. Would that help, Pratik?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is only one Kathy and then we have two people, we definitely know that it's Sunny Coast.
Right. Okay. And again, I think there are some short-term solutions, given we have small numbers here, that we can probably decipher some things out, but it's not going to be the long-term solution. And then, Ben, anything from your perspective that we could be doing, knowing that we're trying to get data to clients?
Not in addition to what you guys have talked about in the last 10 minutes. Nah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I guess you'll get back to us, Pratik, on how to make this more meaningful and what your team says about custom reporting?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll have a sense this week sometime?
I should have by tomorrow, if not tomorrow by Wednesday.
Okay, cool. And then Shan, you're going to send those over, the campaigns, by client?
Yeah. Yes, I will.
All right. When are you going to do that?
I can have that. I can have what I know right now to Pratik by end of day.
Okay. And then as it changes, just keeping that updated.
That updated, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Right?
Okay. Do we want to set another meeting to answer these questions, or Pratik, do you want to wait till you talk to your team first?
I want to talk to you on changes like Cat App Review and then go over the app together. So if you can schedule something on Wednesday, but I think I'll know answers by then for sure.
All right. So
there are copy edits which we wanted to discuss on the Cat App web, and there are some flow issues we wanted to talk on the app itself.
So I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you today.
So maybe this is my new laptop. We discussed, we thought we'll discuss about the Cat App web view copy edits. We have some text edits.
Yep.
And then we thought we also go over the app live, together and take notes and do the fixes on iOS version.
All right. So you're talking about the CAP app, and we can focus on that. Do we have a meeting for that this week?
I don't know. We have to schedule one. So why don't we schedule one meeting where we discuss data and both apps?
Okay, cool. All right, what works for you this week?
If Wednesday works for me, Jean.
Yeah, I'm out Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So Thursday?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be out on Thursday, but that's fine.
We'll miss you.
I know you will. You're going to
All
record
right.
the meeting anyway, right?
We will.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, how about, all right, so Thursday, September 1st, how about like 9:30 Central? And we'll talk about, we'll go through the CAP app and data analytics.
Yeah.
That work?
Yeah.
All right, perfecto.
Excellent.
All right.
Pratik, quick question for you on the CAP app. I know I'd asked, I asked for the login, and then when I went to put in Fozzie's the information you sent me, now it's asking me for a PIN number.
Okay, enter 2323.
2323. It says invalid.
Oh, I'll send a new login or I'll reset the pin. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then Pratik, this is Beth. Am I getting an email or something with the links so that I can put it on my phone, or how should I look?
You should get an email to your iCloud account, like whatever App Store account. I already sent it to you. If you haven't received, you have to resend again.
I'll go to your iTunes account.
Yeah. Beth, can you call me directly on my phone? We can figure that out.
Okay, we'll have her give you a call, Pratik.
All right, great. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll talk on Thursday. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.